My name is Aaron. I'm from northwest London in the UK. I joined the Global Sumud Flotilla after none of us being able to sail last year with the Freedom Flotilla. The intensity of the genocide and the starvation of the population of the people of Palestine in Gaza is a humanitarian crisis. So because the illegal occupation Israel is killing them, committing genocide, ethnic cleansing, Holocaust and starvation, people from 44 different delegations got together to join the Global Sumud to break the siege and bring essential aid to Gaza.
My name is Winfield Beaver. I joined the flotilla journey in Spain. We were about 150 miles off of the coast of Gaza when we were attacked by Israel. They came onto our boat at like 3:30 in the morning. They were chasing us around and making a lot of threats, and they were threatening various things. And they had blocked all of our communications, and they came on with weapons, and we didn't resist. They put us all down below, and they drove our boat to Ashdod. When we got to Ashdod, we started seeing all of the other boats that had been captured by Israel.
Israel has no right to stop us in international waters. From the moment that our boat, the Deir Yassin Mali, got to the port of Ashdod, I was already physically assaulted.
For their PR, they had us go back on the boat and then move and then get off again, where they were really aggressive. And so as soon as we got off the boat the second time, they dragged us aggressively, push your head down and drag you into a concrete area where you sit on the ground. They processed us as if we had tried to enter Israel illegally. And when they were throwing away my possessions, they told me that I chose to come to Israel. And so I have to deal with their way of doing things.
And after getting onto the actual port platform, they forced us to go on our knees, bow down, put our hands behind our heads. Everybody had bared arms, every police officer, Israeli terrorist, soldier, and just people in plain clothes. It looked like normal Israelis, if you can even call them normal, were all tooled up with machine guns and ammunition. And we're kneeling there and forcing us to stay on our knees, like almost kissing the ground. I thought it was a public execution. Before they took us through the processing center, before taking us later on to the prison. I was denied seeing a doctor and a lawyer, and assaulted several times before changing clothes later on. Also forcing us or trying to attempt to force us to sign things without being given the time to read. Having 5 different Israelis speaking to me at exactly the same time, let alone 5 Israelis speaking in Hebrew, not English, amongst also speaking English, and expecting me to understand exactly what they're saying. And if you don't answer fast enough, you get hit, you get punched, you get pushed, you get shoved left, right, and center.
I did not sign the deportation documents because I didn't want to admit to any crime I didn't do. Then they informed me that I was going to go to prison. They drove us to a prison in the Negev desert, and every step of the way they were trying to be cruel and trying to be mean. Everything from pushing and pulling us in line to being arbitrary in what they allowed us to keep. I did see a judge there, and there was a lawyer provided by the Global Sumud Flotilla, but there was no government support from the USA. When we got to the prison, they took our clothes and gave us a uniform. They took everyone's medication from them, and they put us into these cells.
It was brutal. It was disgusting. They are not moral human beings. They are savage, barbaric type of people. I've never met people like this in my entire life. They seem like they hate each other as well. It was a torturous type of experience. I saw different types of people being blindfolded, forced to bend down. They couldn't walk up straight. It was disgusting, terrible treatment. When
we arrived on the Turkish plane, the staff was very kind and accommodating, and we were a very excited bunch of people. But they treated us very well, they fed us very well. And when we arrived into Turkey, they provided us with clothes and with shoes. They've been very, very generous. It's been incredible to me.
There was no diplomatic help from the UK as far as I'm aware. I heard nothing from the UK government. No offer of support whatsoever. The UK government and the Prime Minister, they're not just complicit in a genocide, they're facilitating a genocide. They're helping to kill the people of Palestine. They're helping to starve the people of Palestine. There's no human rights involved. There's no advocacy for our safety while sailing on the mission. And there's no mention of anything for our safe release from the leader of the UK. But the Turkish government is who's looked after us, whether we are Turkish or not. I myself am not Turkish, but I feel like I'm a citizen of Turkey, the way that they have treated us.
I have still not heard anything from my government. There's been no expression of concern or even no seeming interest if I'm alive. You know, like they never asked, no contact. And so in contrast, the Turkish state has been incredibly generous. Like they sent an airplane to extract us from a rogue state that had illegally thrown us in prison and were torturing us. In the political arena in the US, from the left, we say there is the Israeli exception, and it pervades everything. And so, yes, our government is very concerned with the treatment of US citizens, unless it is by the state of Israel. If Israel kills US citizens, we gently ask them to investigate themselves, and it stops there. You know, like there are so many, I can't name them all. We had absolutely no political support. You know, so though we are US citizens and the government says that it cares a lot, I was on a boat full of US veterans. They did not provide any support to us.
I don't believe we are heroes. We're no different from the people in the land of Turkey and around the world that are speaking up against the genocide. Just some of us were fortunate enough to be in a position to be on a boat, almost like a blessing of God, to be in this position to be able to try and feed our brothers and sisters in Gaza. So I want to thank the Turkish government and the Turkish people for welcoming us and for basically rescuing us, because where my government fails, the Turkish government stepped in like as if I was born and living here my whole life. I have nothing but gratitude to Turkey. Israel is non-existent. It's a colonial project. It's not a land. It's Palestine. It's occupied Palestine. So we had no intentions to invade Israel. We had every intentions to get to Gaza, and they kidnapped us basically and forced us to go to their torturous dungeons and prisons. We are peaceful activists trying to bring essential aid to Gaza. Israel is very good at stopping people from helping other people that are oppressed, and all the governments around the world who have their own military have not done anything to intervene and stop Israel. It's one thing that we can have humanitarian activists around the world combining together and mobilizing together to sail through a sea and break the siege and feed brothers and sisters in Gaza, but where is the governments around the world, or where is the independence of military to stop a genocide? And that needs to happen, because otherwise we are feeding people or trying to attempt to feed people that are going to be killed anyway. So it's great that there's a humanitarian mission to feed people that are a starved population, but that's not also the solution.